Every time you post on TikTok, it feels like you're gonna go viral, doesn't it? You post and within minutes you get hundreds of views and then it stops. So you post again and it happens over and over and over. And it makes you start to wonder, does the algorithm hate me? Am I shadow banned? These are good questions, and my goal with this video is to answer them for you. I want to dive into why TikTok views always start out hot and heavy and then come to a screeching halt. You'll learn what's going on behind the scenes with the TikTok algorithm and how it decides what videos to promote, which ones go viral. Now, it turns out that there are some ways that you can actually game the system, so you're going to want to pay close attention. I'm going to be breaking down the strategies you need to use to post so your views don't die on you. And it's important because if you get this wrong, you can be sure that TikTok algorithm is going to throw you back in the 200 view jail. But Mike, wait, is there such a thing as TikTok shadow banning your account? Yeah, and I'll explain in a minute. But first, I want to hear from you. Have your views ever just tanked out of nowhere on TikTok? If the answer is yes, which I'm sure is the case for many of you, I want you to try the strategies that I'm going to be sharing in this video and then come back and let me know how they work for you. Now then, you are probably very familiar with this graph from TikTok where your views take off in the first few minutes and reach about 200 to 300 and then just plummet and end as quickly as they began. In order to understand why this is happening, we have to talk about the mechanics of the TikTok algorithm. The algorithm consists of two phases, the testing phase and the traffic phase. And it's what happens in that initial testing phase that determines whether your videos go viral or disappear to never be seen again. When you first publish a video on TikTok, it's assigned and shown to a sample audience of, you guessed it, about 200 people. And while the algorithm does its best to match that audience with your content, it's likely not going to be made up completely of your ideal viewers. This is especially true if you are a new creator and the algorithm hasn't figured out what you're about yet, what you post about, and who it's for. And I'm going to share more on how to fix that in a little bit. Now, if your video performs well in that test phase, that's when it gets moved to the traffic phase. And this is where TikTok starts pushing your video, showing it to more and more people. And that's where you get those massively viral videos that we've all seen before. Like my man Chris here, who took one idea that I gave him, posted the video, and got 12.4 million followers in 72 hours and went from 0 to over 10,000 followers. But what's the difference between a video like what Chris posted that went viral and yours that stuck at 200 views? It turns out that in the test phase, TikTok is actually looking for a few very specific things. In particular, they're trying to see if people are swiping away on your video and how much of the video, how long they're actually watching. So what does that mean for you? It means that if you aren't getting enough of the 200 viewers in your sample audience to stop scrolling and watch a high percentage of your video, it's dead in the water. You may not realize this, but you are competing with every other person in your space creating content like you are to see whose content is best. In the test phase, TikTok is actually testing how well your video performs with your sample audience compared to another creator in the same space creating similar content and how well their video performs with their sample audience. It's a fight to the death. Winner goes viral. Now, I'm going to show you how to stack the deck in the test phase so you can consistently win those battles and go viral. But first, I want to explain one more thing about how the traffic phase actually works. Once you win in the test phase and you enter the traffic phase, TikTok is going to start pushing your video, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to go viral because TikTok is going to keep testing your content to see how good it is and how it stacks up against the other people that passed in the test phase. And so what you'll start to notice is that there's almost like a checkpoint system where they first checked you at 200 views and then 500, 1,000, 10,000, all the way up to 1 million. But really what's just happening is that they are going to keep pushing your video until performance decreases. As soon as they start seeing more people swipe away or the view duration going down, the views are going to stop. So I've got 7 strategies to make sure that your video is the last one standing and that you can go viral consistently. Number 1, make sure you're posting about one topic so that way the algorithm can figure out what your content is about and show your video to more of your ideal viewers in the test phase. Early on, they're just sending your video to a bunch of randos and hoping it sticks. But eventually, the algorithm is going to figure out what you create content about and who you create content for. And then they're going to do their best to make sure that they're showing it to people that are interested in that type of content in your 200 sample group. By talking about one topic all the time and being specific, it's much easier for them to figure it out instead of you posting about all the different things. And you also want to leverage every single tool that you have at your disposal. Make sure that you're using keyword-rich descriptions, the text on the screen, and your hashtags to indicate to the algorithm what your content's about so they know who to show it to. Number 2, doing your research increases your likelihood of going viral. Early on, when you don't have successful videos, you need to look at the other creators in your space and see what videos are working for them. Look for the patterns. What are the topics and the formats that are going viral every single time they post them? Take a look at their recent videos and look for outliers. If they're always getting between 2,000 and 5,000 views, and then they have a video that gets 100,000 views, take note of that. Make your own version of it, and you'll have a higher chance of going viral. Don't reinvent the wheel. Just make your version of the videos that are already working on the platform. Number 3, increase your posting frequency. I usually recommend that people post between 1 to 3 times a day. And honestly, if you're posting more, you are going to be able to fail forward faster. And what I mean by that is if you're creating more videos, you are going to be able to learn more. You're going to be able to see what works for you and what didn't work. And that knowledge is going to help you improve and get better and grow faster. But you cannot post more frequently at the expense of doing the research. I would rather you post 1 time a day, like I did to get to my first 10,000 followers in under 60 days. I'd rather you do that than try to post 3 to 5 times a day, but you're creating crappy content because you're not doing the research and being strategic about what you post. Number 4, timing matters, but I'm not talking about posting times. Posting times don't matter. Post whenever you want to post. It doesn't matter. What matters is the timing of the content and the topics, as in, is the content that you found in your research and you are creating your own version of recent and relevant? Or is it in your niche and did it go viral recently? If you're trying to emulate or create your version of an outlier video that went viral a year ago, well, guess what? The trends change, things change. What worked a month ago may not work today. Look for videos that are outliers in the last week, in the last 3 to 5 days. The more recently that they went viral, the more likely you're going to be able to ride that wave and get more views. Speaking of riding the waves, number 5, trends. Use them. Trends are a great way for you to get an extra little push from the algorithm to be able to go viral. Now, trends can be trending sounds or they can be trending formats. As you start posting more and more and you see what works for you and you see what other creators are doing, you're going to start noticing that there are certain topics, hooks, and formats and structures for creating content that are more successful than others, and everybody uses them. And so you need to start using them too. And if you're like, Mike, I don't know how to find trending sounds, I don't know how to do that, I got you. Check out this video. Number 6, stop the scroll. If people swipe past your video and never even watch it, your views will die. You won't get the watch time. You need to start thinking about the first 3 seconds of your video like a title and thumbnail of a YouTube video. When someone sees it, does it grab their attention? Is there a hook or something interesting that makes them want to stop and see what you have to say? Take advantage of the text on the screen. Put a headline above your head to grab their attention. Use the things that you say, like plan out the first words that you say in that video to really hook them in. And then number 7, focus on retention. Once you hook them in, you gotta keep them on the video. And really, the 2 best tips that I can give you for this is eliminate all of the fluff and then make your video shorter. The shorter the video is, the easier it is to get a high percentage of watch time on that video and go viral. Now, once you start doing these things, study your videos. Look for patterns. What is working? Double down on that thing. Repost your viral videos. Remake your viral videos. Reuse your viral topics. All of the most successful creators are reusing the things that worked over and over and over again. Okay, Mike, but I watched all of your videos. I did all of the things. Am I shadow banned? There are actually a few ways you can get shadow banned, so I just want to run through them really quickly. And most of them revolve around either violating the terms of service in some way or being spammy. So first one, do not post your videos on multiple accounts. If you're posting the same video on multiple accounts, you will look like a spammer. You look like a bot, they are going to ban you. Number 2, make sure you don't violate the terms of service. If you are breaking the rules, you will not get views. That seems pretty simple, but so many people get this messed up. And I think one of the biggest areas that people screw this up is by creating like theme pages and clips channels where they're posting other people's content. And you have to go and read what original content is considered underneath the terms, because you can use clips and stuff, but you can't just repost the original thing. You have to make it unique and original in some way by modifying it and using it in a new and unique way. And look, I don't do that. I'm not an expert on that. Go read the terms. Next, don't be spammy. Like if you are posting 5, 6, 7, 9 times a day, that looks spammy and you might be having success with it. And then on the 7th video you post, you get 0 views. And then you wonder why for the next few days, every time you post a video, you get no views. It's because you screwed up. And if a video doesn't work, don't delete it. Deleting videos does not help you. It hurts your account. If a video doesn't do well, who cares? Move on. Create another one. It's dead. It's lost in space. Nobody's going to see it. Just go improve and make a better video. Now, if you think you are shadow banned, there's a way to figure it out. First, are you getting no views? Are you getting no views on multiple videos? I actually got shadow banned in one of my first accounts. I talk about it in one of my older videos because what was happening is I was experimenting and doing all of these things on TikTok, and some guru was like, hey, create 5 accounts and post the same video on all of them. And the one that gets the most views at the start, that's your magic account. That's the one you need to do. And so I did that, and I was posting on multiple accounts. And next thing you know, I started getting 0 views for like a dozen videos in a row on all the accounts. Why? Because I looked like a spammer. So if you're getting no views, like that's a sign. And what you can do is you can actually just go to your video, go to the bottom, click the more data where it shows you the analytics. And if it's saying ineligible for the FYF or For You feed, then that means that like, hey, you did something wrong, you violated the terms, or there's a problem. And so if you're getting consistently like no views like I was, then yes, go ahead and start over. But you need to understand this. 98% of the time, you aren't actually shadow banned. And creating a new account is not going to help you. Because even if you create a new account, you still have the problem of not making good enough videos that win in the test phase and get pushed into the traffic phase to go viral. And so if you want a more in-depth, step-by-step instruction on how to create videos so you can grow as quickly as possible and win the test phase and go viral, I want you to watch this video. This is like my complete guide. I share my screen. I pull it up on my phone. I show you exactly what to do and what kind of content to create to grow as fast as you can.